projects. So I start the recording. So now I'll share the screen. So that today we're going to create this one. Okay, so student love. Just wait 1 minute. I'll check.
Sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello. Yeah.
Sir, yesterday you said in shrink around shrink evenly.
Okay, with the nth child.
Yeah.
String. Okay, bro. I didn't watch that. I will tomorrow. I will tell you. Okay. So don't worry. I will explain you that. Okay.
And also, what is the difference between the space evenly and space around, sir? I saw the output is same as.
Yeah. Okay. Today we'll
both.
see what the difference. Okay. So I'm very sorry. Today I forgot that to watch that syntax. Tomorrow I will explain you that. Okay. So today we just going to create the student love home service. So we have first thing what we want to do. First we want to know how to split the flex child. Okay, so if you see here, this is a parent. Okay, wait, I will change the color. Yellow. Okay, so this is a parent. Okay, so this is one parent. This one parent has a two children. So this one children and here one children. Okay, so this is the first concept what we're going to build now. So I just undo all the thing. So here 8 p.m. So I create index.html and style.css. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, I'm just going to have some default code here. So this one is flex web page. Okay, so here I'm going to so then I want to link my style.css file. So /style.css. Here I'm just going to have a default value, margin 0 pixel, padding 0 pixel, then box sizing border box. Okay, so I will teach you this box sizing border box one with some good example, so don't worry about that. So now we should create this one. Okay, so so this is header part. Okay, so first thing we have to implement, we have to put some semantic tags, so that is called a header. So what the header takes, so header tag, in the header tag I'm going to put a container. Okay, so container. Okay, so the container is going to have a margin. I explained you the margin, right? Hello.
Yes, sir. Margin
Yeah.
for
Okay. So
elements.
yeah. So you know that margin okay. So okay, I will explain you. Okay. So here we have the container. Okay. So inside I'm just putting hello world for now, and I will open it on the live browser. Okay. So it should open now. So here, if you see, the hello world is starting from here, because basically we off the margin for the all element default values. Okay, so that's what it's actually in the top of the browser. So the second step is we need a margin in a school. So for this is a A4 sheet. Okay, imagine this A4 sheet. If you write the letters to your principal or teacher, you used to put some line right here in the A4 sheet. So this is the margin. Okay, the empty space. So it's called a margin. Here only you start your content to write. Okay, so but in the web it's actually changing a little bit. So how means, so this is a full browser. Okay, so we need both side margin. So here one margin and the right side a margin. So the content goes here to here. Again, what happened after one it hit this level, it should come start from the next line. Okay, it should not go outside of this margin. Okay, so we should want to create this. Why means, you see this web page have a 100% of width. Inside 100% of width, we have some margin here. Okay, so it's actually maintaining the margin. You see, it's maintaining the margin. The same concept applies for the right side. It's not going outside of the container. Okay, so this is called a container. So I need to create the container now. So that's what I created, a container class. This class takes some properties. So container, first thing what I'm going to do, width equal to 80%. I'm just going to give as a percentage. In the second project, in the next project, we'll check with pixel. Okay, so this is 80% of the width. So now I come back here. So now I inspect this. Okay, now I inspect the container. So if you see, if I inspect the container, actually the margin has with the content, the content actually available for only 80% width, not the total width. Okay, so after the 20% is actually the extra space. So we have to take 10% of the space to the left and want to stay the 10% of the space to the right. Okay, so this is the logic what we're going to do now. Okay, so now we created a container class. We gave a width of 80% so that we can this container should not take this container should not allow the paragraph to go outside of the 80%. Okay, for example, if I put paragraph lorem 150 here. Okay, so if you see, the paragraph is wrapping next line. Okay, why? Because we control with container 80%, but this is not I want. I need the 20% for 10% to the left and 10% to stay on the right side. So if I come back in the container box model, you see the container has only 80% and there is no padding, margin, border, anything. Okay, so we have only the margin. So this is the margin. Okay, the extra space, the margin is highlighting, we have the margin. So now what I'm going to do in the style margin, first property is the top and bottom, right? So 0 pixel. So for the left and right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add an auto here. Okay, it takes an auto. So what does the auto do? It actually divide the total amount of margin in the right side with by 2, and it pushed the 10% to the left side and push the 10% to the right side. So now you see it's actually having 153.600 to the left, 153.600 to the right. Okay, this is how do you want to create the margin. Okay, you understand? Just let me know that if you're not understanding, I will explain you again.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so now we created the margin. So this container is going to control only for the 80%, not for the 100% of total width. Okay, it's going to only wrap only for the 80%. So the next step, what the next step? We need a header. In the header, we want one parent, and inside the one parent, we need 2 children. Okay, so the next step is that. So I just take all this. Okay, so we have header container. So the first step, I'm going to create one div here. The parent class name is header wrapper. Okay, you can give whatever the class name, but I'm just giving like this. This is how I do. Here I'm going to give a class name called logo. Okay, inside the logo, I'm going to have a h4 with student love. Okay, so here we are having a student love. Inside this div, not div. So the UL is actually the block level element. We don't need the UL. Sorry, the div. I'm directly putting the UL here and LI. Okay, so LI takes what? Home, services, categories. Okay, so we created one parent and we just put 2 children here. One is logo, another one is the UL. Okay, so if I come back here, we see that logo is coming and also the UL also appearing here. Okay, so now the next step is we want to okay, before that we want to check that what fonts they use. They use the Monstrate. So I just want to pick the font. So to do that, I'm just going to the Google font. Okay, note this Google font. So where is that Google font? www.fonts. Okay, so this is this one. So if I go to this page, this is the about page. So just go to the main page. Okay, I take all these out. So if you want to know what the font family is, if you click the font, it show the font family name here. Okay, so I copy the name from here and I paste it here in a search font. So it should give me a font. Okay, what the font they used in Figma, but you cannot you can't get all the font from Google font. Okay, if there is some paid font, you have to buy the font from the somewhere, some other website, then you want to use it in your web page. So I will teach you later how to use the font locally in your machine. So this is one type. Okay, this is a one type. Using CDN, we're going to implement the CDN is just a link. Okay, we are going to add a link to access the font in our project. So this is the font they used in a Figma design. So now I click this font here. You see there is a small view selected families button here. Okay, once I click that, it should show me some side panel like this. So once I'll scroll here, I now I want to select what in that font family. I want that font weight. So what are the weight I need to implement in my project? So I need a regular and medium and semi bold and bold. So most of the time we use this 4 types only. So sometime we use the thin. Okay, some for some design, for show some design. So what you should want to do, once you select the font, they will actually generate some link for you. Okay, so this is the link. You copy that link and you get that link to your HTML document and you should want to paste it here. Okay, so you select the font from Google font and you select the font type and you copy that link from the Google font and then take that link to this HTML and paste it here, so that now you got the font here. So if I go and refresh this page, nothing gonna happen. Why? Because we have not tell the CSS to what font family I want to use in your project. Okay, so the next step, I come back to my Google font. Okay, so in the bottom they gave a CSS rule to specify families. Okay, so this is the syntax property, sorry, the CSS property you want to add in your CSS. Okay, so I come back to my CSS. So here you want to apply to the total body. Okay, so the body takes the font family, the font name and the type. So if I go back to the web page, you see the font got changed here actually. Okay, so this is not the font what we, if I off this font. Okay, now you see I switch off the font. Now it's changing to the serif type because the default font is serif when you're loading the page in a HTML. But once I add the font family, this is changing. Okay, this is how you want to add your font in a web page. If it is a web font, the web font mean you can able to access in a Google font. But if it is not a web form, you want to download the font from some other site. Here also you can do it like this way. You can download and keep that folder in your local machine and you can access the font to your project. Okay, so the next step is that, so in the next project we can use the local version of the font. Okay, so now we use the CDN. So whenever the internet loads, it's going to get the request from this link and it should appear the font here like this way. Okay, so this is the first step. So now we include the font in our project. So the second step, we want to hide these dots. Okay, so to do that, I want to target the UL. So the UL has list style. Okay, so I'm going to give it as a none. So if I change the list style none to the UL, it should now disappear. Okay, that's good. Now you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now if you see, this header wrappers contain two children. One is logo and another one is UL. So the header wrapper is the parent. So yesterday I told you, you want to control the children with parent. Okay, so that now I'm going to change the header wrapper to display flex. Now basically this header wrapper is a display block. Okay, even though if I target the header wrapper here, okay, I just copy this from the class name. Even though if I gave display block, it should not change anything because default value is display block for the div. Okay, but once I change the display block to display flex, what is going to happen?
It will go up.
So
It
the
will go
two
side by
children are
side.
next to each other, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yesterday we saw that we created 3 boxes. Once we change the display to block to flex, the 3 boxes come next to each other, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the same concept is going to apply now. So it came next to each other. Okay, this is good. So if I hover this once, you see it has a lot of extra space. So yesterday I told you we can able to push the child elements everywhere in the empty spaces, right? So that in the design, if you see, the container starts from here. Okay, so this is the zero container. Oh, so this is start from zero, container zero. This is 80%. So I want to push that UL to the 80%, right? So to do that, what property can I use here?
Flex and
Flex end. Okay, so if I use justify content flex end, okay, I use justify content flex end here. So what is going to happen, we'll see. So it should take 2 children to the flex end. Okay, okay, you understand?
okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So if I use the center, what is going to happen?
Both will come in center.
It will
Yeah,
come
the
to
both
center.
the both children will come in center. Okay, so now it's actually sitting in a center. So what if I use space between? Tell me.
In between,
In between
the
the space is
two.
going to distribute, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if I come back here, you see in between the space got distributed so that the child one is to the left and another one is to the right. Okay, so one brother asked me about the around. Okay, so you see the display space between is like this way. Okay, start from 0 and end with the 80%. So this is actually 100% of the 80%. Okay, so start with 0 to 80. Now I'm going to change the around here. Okay, so what does around do? So it has some spacing here also and in the center and also the right side. Okay, understand, brother?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so then we have a evenly. What it's going to do? It's going to give
Equal
even
space
space
in
to the three
between.
corners, three sides. Okay, to the left, middle, and the right. Okay. So this is difference between this is the difference between space evenly, space around. Okay, so but for our project we need to put that display space between. So I'm just going to change it as a between. So now we change it to here. Okay, so now I want these home service category to be in a row. Now it's actually in a column, like a column. So I want to change it as a row, because when the design you see it's all actually in a row. Okay, how can I change this to be an row instead of column?
Display inline can you put, sir?
Display inline, right? So we can use the display inline also. Okay, super. So I can, for the UL, now one problem will come here. So display, I'm just giving display inline. You change display inline for this one UL only. Okay, only the UL. Okay, the UL is basically the display block, but you change this to the display inline. It's not gonna change anything. But if I change the UL LI to display inline, okay, now I change the LI to display inline. Okay, everything is good. Now we got this thing. Okay, so why do we do this? But we have the flex, no? So we don't want to give. So for example, what it should happen means, so you created the display inline. Okay, right? You created the display inline. So if I need a margin here. Okay, so for the home service and category I need the margin, because they actually gave some space here, right? So you see in between all threes LI actually what, oh, I made some mistake here. So it should wrap inside the A tag, because that's a navigation link. So whenever we clicking that home or service, we should take that we should redirect to the another page. Okay, so I made a mistake here. So I just put here A here. So I'm not redirecting to any other page. I'm just putting some hash to stay in the same page. Okay, so now we have a tag. So it should also give back the same result only. So the LI is inline. So now everything is next to each other. I'm going to off this underline. Okay, so to off the underline, I'm going to target the A tag. So text decoration to none. Okay, so it should now take out that underline of the link. So here we have, so the second step. So here I'm just going to give the margin right. Yeah, margin right is 35 pixel. Okay, now the margin got up came here. But you see one thing, the last child also moved from the right side. Okay, the last child also, it's not a proper alignment, because we should want to move the child left to the right end. Okay, but this is not in proper alignment, because categories now have a some extra margin, so that it's not in proper alignment. So what you do to take off that last li margin? What you do? What method you do to take off that margin?
N child margin 0.
Okay, so we can use the nth child, right? So we can use that ul li last child, right? The last child or nth child 3, anything. So I'm just going to give the margin right to 0 pixel. Okay, so if I come back here, now the container has not the container is not having a margin here. Okay, so everything is good. So this is a one way. So some people will do like this way also, but there is another problem. So in the inline, so now the li is inline, not in block. Okay, if I use the margin top to the inline to 50 pixel, it should not work. Okay, note this point. The margin top and the margin bottom should not apply for display inline. Okay, if I hover this, even though yeah, for the inline we are not, the css would not allow to add a margin, even though it appear here. Okay, you see the margin top and bottom has a 50 pixel of margin in the box model, but it's not highlighting there. You see only the right is highlighting it in orange color, but the top and bottom is not highlighting. What does the document is doing? For the display inline block, it wouldn't allow to add the margin top and bottom to do. So what the situation to do this here to solve this problem? Okay, I want to change this inline to inline block. Okay, this is one problem will come when you use a inline. So when you change the display inline to inline block, now the css would allow to add the 50 pixel of the top and bottom to that li element. So if I come back here, now it has a 50 pixel margin of the top and the bottom. Okay, so the inline block also works same like inline block also works same like inline, but the difference is inline wouldn't allow the margin top and bottom, but inline block can access the margin top and bottom. Okay, this is the difference. There is no other difference. Okay, understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so but now I'm not going to use this way of styling design or the coding. Okay, so I just take command this out and you can use whatever the style you want. Okay, so this is the category, service and home. So I always use all the things for all things with the flex only. Okay, because I need a proper alignment. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to target the ulli. Which ulli? Header ulli. Okay, I want to target like this way, because if you use ulli in somewhere in your document, you are actually targeting all the ulli in your document. But I'm specifying using the header tag. Inside the header tag only I'm targeting this ulli. So this is not if the ulli is another ulli here, if there is here like this way, it's not going to affect by this ulli. Okay,
Don't
you,
we need to put the class wrapper dot and all?
no, yeah, no, you don't want to put the class here, because I'm
No,
calling.
not like that. Header tag is
Yeah,
there,
you
and
can.
then
Yeah,
header wrapper class. Don't we need to
yeah, you can
mention?
also put like that way also. There is no problem. You want to target the parent only. Okay, so the main parent is header, so I'm targeting the header directly. Okay, the header semantic tag. So if you want to do like this way also, you can do. It will work in a both way. Okay, so I always target the children using the main section tag only. Okay, so this is I only use this for to make a flex or to control the children. Inside styles I use the header. Okay, so now I'm just okay, I go ahead with this header wrapper. So now I have the header wrapper ulli. Now I got this. So the second step is I'm also going to change this display flex. So when we do the third project, I'm not do the repeating code. Okay, so if you see here also we using display flex, and again we are also going to use somewhere the display flex. For the basic project, I'm just going like this way, but once we get into the third project, I'm not going to do like this way. We have a class for similar, we have a one class, we can call class name wherever we want that properties. Okay, so I will explain you that later. So now we create this display flex here. So now I'm go back to here. Okay, okay, so now this is not actually working. Okay, so I will take the item one here. Okay, so this item one, why it's not actually working, just let me know why the flex is not working for ULLI.
Its parent is not having flex.
What bro?
Its upper parent is not having flex.
Yeah, so its upper parent is not having a flex, right? So now what happened, inside the A only got flexed. Okay, inside we have only one A. So if I used to put another A into this LI, it should got changed to a flex. Okay, so now this A got flex, but the service target category is not flex because there is no another child to wrap to next to each other to make a flex. Okay, so that's what it's not showing like this way. So now what should I want to target to make a flex of LI?
Child should be targeted.
Now I want to target the UL, right? Not the LI. Okay.
Okay.
So I want to target the UL. So because inside the UL, we have a 3 children. So if I come back here, now we have a LI with a display flex. Okay. So now what we can do, so there is some people will do like this way. They used to put UL LI and they use a margin right the same way. Margin right, RIMARGIN, margin right 35 pixel. So it should give that margin, but this alignment is not a good alignment. You see, the category also came out from there, the right in the end of the right. So some people what they do, they just call the last last child, and they pass the margin right to 0. This is one people will do. Okay, so now the container does not have the margin. So this is one way. There is another selector called not. Okay, so we can pass the not here. So inside the not, what we can do, so we just put the same header wrapper ULLI. Here you can call the last child. Okay, so now the not is not what going to do. It's not going to allow the margin to only for the last child. Okay, if I come back here, you see the same result, but the last child is not having a margin right of 35 pixel. You understand this both style now? So some people will do like this way, some people will do like this way, but we are not going to follow this both kind of things. Okay, so I just make a command of it. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to give a gap equal to 35 pixel. This gap only work for only if the parent is display flex. Okay, this gap is for the flex property. Yesterday I didn't teach you that, so today is a good place to teach that. So that's what yesterday I skipped that. So add at the gap of 35 pixel. What the gap is going to do, it's actually going to give the gap in between only the element. Okay, not in the corners, the left corner and the right corner. Only it should give in a in between of the content. So that is very powerful. The gap is because you don't want to target the elements, and you don't want to give the margin right, and you don't want to target the last child and offing that margin right to 0 pixel. That is a kind of messy way. Okay, so don't use these kinds of code, because why I'm showing this kinds of code means if you open some other project, you should want to also understand these kinds of styling also. Okay, so that's what I'm giving this. So just understand this concept. Don't follow these types of margin or spacing. So flex is very powerful. So you can create
Sir,
a gap. Yeah.
what happened if you use that space between, sir?
Yeah, we use the space between only here. Okay, here
No,
the
sir,
thing
yes,
is, yeah, okay. Here we use display justify content space between. Okay, there is another way. Some people do also this way. Okay. So if I use that space between, it doesn't do anything. Why? Because this UL has only 180 pixel of content, the width content. Okay, so I need because there is no width to give the space between. So what should I want to do? I want to give some width here. Okay, so the width is, I want to make the width bigger. So the width is totally, I'm just giving as a percentage. Okay, so like 20%, I'm just giving 20% here. So now, oh, okay, I will give like 40%. So now we have a width here. Okay, so now we have 400 width. So now that we have that space between here, if you don't have a width, means the space between should not going to work, because yesterday I told you that example for the align items, right? So for the align items, when we gave the height only, the align items should work. If there is no height, it should not work. Okay, the same concept is actually applying here. If we want to use the space between, some people will do like this way, so don't do this kind of styling also. Okay, I just take it off. You understand this, right, bro?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just take this also. We have a gap, so we can use the gap with 35 pixel, so that it should give space in between all the A tags. Okay, the LI tags. So this is a proper way. So the next step, what the next step? You understand this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So okay, the next step. What the next step is? We should want to give a space. Okay, we should want to give a space and color. In which tag I want to give a color? The container where I want to give the color. Let me know.
Header, sir.
To the header,
To the header. Okay. Why we want to give the color to the header?
because we want
Because
full
it is parent, sir.
100% of the width.
Super, super. Okay. So I'm just always have a command like this way. Header start. Okay. So here header end. Okay, you to follow the same rule. Okay, because it will give you some discipline to make a code, so you can you can just find the command to get to this place. Okay, don't want to scroll and check where the header is actually staying like this way. If you put the header, if you copy the header and hit Control H, it will show you where the header is actually located. Okay, so that's what I'm using this commands. So now we have header wrapper and header UL we created. So the next step is I want to target the header. So background color should be this color. So I select this one, it return me a color here. So I copy the color and I paste with the hash. Without hash, the color does not work. Okay. So then now the color got applied here. Okay, everything is good. So I change the header wrapper color to white. Okay, so 6F white color code is. So now it should, this only going to change, but this is not going to change. Why? Because this is a A tag. If the A tag, if you're using the A tag, if you want to change the A tag color, you want to target the actual element for A only. Okay. So to do that, what I'm going to do, header wrapper UL LI A, because the A is actually located inside the header wrapper UL A. Okay. So the color should be white. So now if I come back here, now the color got changed to white. So now I need a space. You see, the header got a space to the top and the bottom. What property I should want to use? The margin or padding?
Padding.
Okay. Why should,
Padding.
okay, padding. So I will explain that also. Okay. So if I come back here in the box model, this is the header. Okay. So the header has a content in the padding and border. So in between the border and padding one, in between the border and content only, I am having the pattern. So this padding is going to give me back a inside of the spacing, not outside of the spacing. If I have a margin, so it should give a outside of the spacing. Now I use the margin. What problem we want to know? What the problem we face? No. So I just going to use margin. Margin top and bottom is 50 pixel and left and right is 0 pixel. So this is giving a space outside of the element. Okay, so this is the margin, but this is not the case what I want here. I need a padding here. I don't need a 50 pixel of padding here. I just need some kind of 15. So instead of margin, I'm changing this to padding. Okay, the padding 50 pixel, the top and bottom and left and right is 0 pixel. So if I come back, I have the inner space in between the top and the bottom. So everything is good. Okay. So the second step, what the second step? So we have the get your dream jobs fast and build your career. Choose a job you love, the content and 2 buttons here. And we have also the image here. Okay. So today I do this one. Tomorrow the task is for you. You want to do this one. Okay. So I will explain.
So
I
we
will tell
haven't
you.
given font size to the logo.
Yeah, we can add, no problem. So the font size is 32 pixel. So actually now I'm focusing on not the design. Okay, I'm just focusing on the layout splitting. So that's what I missed. So the font size is 24. What the font size is? 32 pixel. So if you give like this way, it should come as a 32 pixel of font. Okay, so H4, okay, so this is H4, not the H1. So now this one is 34 pixel. Okay, but you see one thing, once I change this to 34 pixel, this alignment is not good. Okay, what can I do to make a proper alignment in the middle? I need the all link to come in the middle of this student love. What property should I use in a flex? So yesterday I told you to align in a row
Align.
way, you can use a justify content. To align in a column way,
Yes,
Line
align.
center.
align items, right? Okay.
Yes.
So the header wrapper takes a display flex and it has a justify content space between, and also the another property called align item center. Okay. So if I gave the align item center, this is a proper alignment. You can close your eyes and you can tell to anyone. Okay. Because the flex is more powerful and also it gives you a excellent space distribution and alignment flexibility. So just stick with the flex. The flex is more important. So if you know the flex 100%, you can build whatever the website you are seeing in a web page, in your viewing in your Chrome browser or in the browser. Okay, so just stick with the flex and learn the flex properly. Okay, so now we created the flex with using the flex and we align the property perfectly, so everything is good now. Okay, so the second step, what the second step, we should want to create the get your dream job and some content here, and the right side we have an image here. So first I will explain how I am going to split this. So here we have one parent. Okay, so this is one parent. So the parent has a two child. So this one is child and this another child. So everything is good. So this is how I am going to split the children now. So I just take it off here. So now I'm coming back here. So after header, I'm going to have a section tag. Okay, the section, because I want to specify what section I'm using. So this is a banner section. Inside the banner, okay, first thing I'm just giving some div here. Okay, before that I want, what I do, I just put this get your dream jobs. Okay, so get your dream jobs takes a H1 here. Okay, everything is good. So if I come back here, get your dream job start from the window 0%. Why it is not starting from this alignment?
Class container
Because
is
we
not
did not give a
Because
container.
yeah, we have not gave the container to that banner. So I want to give a container. Okay. So the container takes a H1. So now the container is controlling the width of 80%. So here now it's actually starting from here. Okay, everything is good. So then the second step is we need some wrapper here, the parent wrapper. The class called banner wrapper. So inside banner wrapper, I'm going to give a div of class banner child 1. Okay, so this is banner child 2. We are having a two child here. Okay, we are not going to have a class name like this, child 1 or child 2. Once we get familiar with this, after that we are not going to use most of the class like this way. I'm just going to target using that li or nth child like that way only. Okay, so for first project I'm doing like this way. We are adding some classes like this way. Okay, in the next project and all, we are not gonna use the class name, or we only use this class name only. Here whatever we do, we just put the div only, direct div, not the banner or kind of things. Okay, so now I'm having a banner child 1. So here I want to put the h1 takes a content. So wait 1 minute. So the h1 takes a content, and we have some paragraph also here. The paragraph take some another content. Here we having a two button. So this is not an actual button tag. When you click the button, it should navigate to some other page. So that what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it in a tag. So here also one flex is going to apply. If you see here, the one parent has a two child, this one child. Okay, so why I'm using the flex? Because I need a proper alignment. Okay, so that's what I'm using a flex here. So the second step is what I want to create another div here. The div takes a tag hash your jobs. Okay, and another a tag has a, inside the a tag we want to give a image. Okay, so I'm just ungroup it, and so if you're not able to select this directly, if you see, if I am selecting this, it should actually selecting the both okay, if I selecting this, it should actually selecting the both thing. Okay, what they designer do, they actually group the both element. Okay, what should you want to do? You just want to click this thing and you want to right click, and there is ungroup. Okay, this is actually got a grouped one. Okay, you see there's a folder, the file is actually in a group, the element is actually in a group. So if once I ungroup that, it should return me back an individual elements. Okay, for the image and for the text. So now I can able to select the image and I can export here as an SVG. Now I'm using an SVG because this is not an actual image, this is actually the SVG type. Okay, we can draw the it's a drawable elements. Okay, this only a JPEG kind of thing, so they actually captured so we cannot able to draw using like this way. This is a photo, this is a code. I will show you what is actually SVG mean. So I take this image to my folder. The SVG image code should look like this. Okay, it's kind of HTML tags only. So what the difference between the SVG and JPEG PNG? Even if I zoom how much, even if I zoom higher like this way, the pixel is not broken. Okay, why? Because it is an drawable thing. Okay, for example, I can change. So for example, if I take this rectangle and I change the color to red, if I zoom this out higher, this is pixel is not broken. Why? Because it is a drawable thing. Okay, it's a vector method. So if I export this as an SVG, I put that in a HTML. Okay, so you see it has a SVG of width and the height we draw there, and view box. Yeah, I don't know what is this. So fill is actually the color. This fill is actually the color. If I change the color to green here, okay, I export it as a red. Okay, for the animation there we can use like this way. If I go back and I open the rectangle, now it should as in a green. I change the fill color to red to green. Okay, if I change the color to back to red, now if I refresh this, it should appear like a red. We can change the color using this SVGs. Okay, so that's the difference. I will give you the example later how do we can able to animate the SVG things and all. So for now we need just an image. Okay, so that I'm just taking the atom solid as an SVG type. Okay, you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so if I zoom this picture, you see the pixel is actually broken. Okay, so I can't able to take this as an SVG. I can able to take the SVG, but this is not an SVG. So I am just going to export it as a PNG. Okay, so in the PNG format. So I take this PNG to here. So this name I give as a girl. Okay, so I'm not actually put the image like this way. I'm going to create some folder and I'm going to drag and drop the image, both image to the images. Okay, all the images should go here only. So here also I do another thing. So this is for only the header. Okay, sorry, the banner. This image going to work only for the banner. Okay, I'm just put in a image folder. I'm having a banner folder. Inside the banner, I'm going to add all the banner image content. So if I come back to my folder, if I open the image, we have another banner folder. Inside the banner only I'm having atom and girl. So what you want to do tomorrow, you want to create in an image folder, you want to create a job folder. Inside the job folder only you should want to put all these three images. Okay, so this is the proper structure how that you will use in a when you get into the project or somewhere in a companies like that way. Okay, in the company they will use like this kind of things only. So you don't want to mess your folder structure. Okay, so that I have a image inside banner section for the banner image. If I have another section, I create an section name using that folder name using that section name. I put all the section required image inside that actual folder. So now I close all the things. So here I want to give the image tag takes an image banner atom.svg. So the alt tag I just give a alt image. So inside the span I'm just going to give the how to apply. Okay, the a tags contain two elements, one is image and the span. Okay, so everything is good. If I come, okay, I will also add this here. Okay, so this image tags takes a div and it has an image called images banner and girl.png. So here in the alt I add the girl here. So now if I come back here, we have the content and the image. So now if I hover this, I close the header here, I hover the section, we can see the banner wrapper here. This is the parent, and we have two children. One is the banner child 1 and another one is the banner child 2. So where I want to give the display flex now?
Banner wrapper.
To the banner wrapper, right? Okay, so the second step is I'm just going to start the banner start, banner end. Okay, so banner wrapper, there is the, so I just copy it and I paste here. So the banner wrapper takes a display flex. Okay, so now it should come next to each other. Okay, so everything is good. But if I will show you something. You see, I hover the banner child 1, the width is not, the width is actually 437. So the banner child 2 is width is 577. So this is not good. We need to split, we need to give a same spacing to both elements. Okay, so that what I'm going to do, I'm going to target the, I'm going to give the width of 50%, 50% to each element. Okay, so the banner child 1 and the banner child 2, if you use the same property to the both element, you can call using the comma. Okay, so it will apply to the both elements. So width is 50%. So now this parent element, this div child to parent element has a 80% of width. Okay, you see this banner wrapper have a container. This container is going to controlled by 80%. So inside the parent, inside this child is going to take 100% of width of 80%. Okay, not the 100% width of the browser. So it's going to controlled by the 80% of the width. Understand?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we got, yeah, actual, say I think some pixel will change, only that 5 or 6 pixels. So 5 not 7 here, fine. Okay, no problem, the both are same. Okay, sometimes you will see like 2 or 3 pixel will differentiate. Okay, so that's not a big problem. So that's not actually the problem. Okay, so everything is good. Now we got this. So I want to, now what I want to do, I want to change the font size, fonts design. Okay, so you see the font is actually breaking line by line. Okay, so I already told you don't use the break tag. So that what I'm going to do
Span.
now, yeah, I'm just going to wrap all the things using span. So I'm going to put the span here. I take off all the span and just paste it here. Okay, so all span is locating here. So the class name called line break. So I'm going to give a line break here. So I'm just calling the line break, take the line break. This is a default class, so I'm just going to add in a top. Okay, so I can use the line break wherever I want in my document. So the display, the span is actually the display inline block, is nothing gonna change here because this basically a display inline. Okay, so if I change this to a display block, it should wrap one by one to the bottom. Okay, so everything is good. The second step is we want to give a font size. What the font size is 48 pixel. Okay, so the second step is I coming back to the banner wrapper. So the banner wrapper dot h1, okay, font size of 48 pixel. So now the font change to 48 pixel. So I want to give some margin here. You see there is a space in between the heading and paragraph and also to the paragraph. So I'm just going to target the banner wrapper. Okay, so some people what they do, actually they call the h1 and also they call the banner wrapper paragraph and they give the margin bottom to 15 or 20 pixel like this way. Okay, so this is one way of method doing. So here we have some margin bottom to the h1 of 20 pixel and we have another margin of 20 pixel. Okay, what I do, I always reduce the code. Okay, what I do, I don't want this h1. Okay, instead of targeting the h1 like this way, what I do, I'm actually pass the margin here and top and bottom is 20 pixel and left and right is 0 pixel. Now the margin is only going to apply for the paragraph to the top and the bottom. So if I come back here, the same result. So now the paragraph contain top and the bottom of margin. So I do like this way. You can choose whatever the way you want. Okay, so this is good. So the second step is I want to fix this one. Okay, so this is basically these three elements are inline element. What are the inline elements? The A inline element, this A inline element, the image is inline element, the span is inline element. So that's what it's not breaking to the next line. Okay, so this div, I'm just going to give a name called banner btn. Okay, so this class name has a class of btn. This one is btn, primary btn. Okay, this one is secondary btn. Okay, so everything is now good. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this banner btn. I want to make it as a flex. Okay, so I need a proper alignment. So that's what I'm just going to banner btn display flex. So now it should actually in a display flex. It's not aligning properly. Okay, I'm also want to reduce this image. Okay, the image size, so that what I'm going to do, inside the btn I'm having an image. Okay, I can actually target the btn directly. Dot btn image width is 20 pixel. Okay, so now this image got smaller, but you see the alignment is not properly alignment. Okay, so that now I'm going to change the btn to display flex. Dot btn display flex align item center. Okay, so if I come back here, this is the proper alignment. You see how the alignment is actually working. This is what the flex is more powerful. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I need a gap here in between the your job and how to apply. What I can do, what I want to do.
Space evenly.
What, bro?
Space evenly.
No, if you give the space evenly, you see the space is actually
Gap.
located to
So-
this until here. Okay, so
That
if I
gap.
give that, yeah, just 1 minute, you are correct. So if I give the space between, it should space between two and two here. Okay, I don't need this. So what I'm just going to give, I'm just going to give a gap in between the two elements. So 40 pixel. So it has created some gap here. Okay, so the second step is I want to make the button. Okay, so for the first button is the primary btn. Okay, so I'm just targeting the primary btn. So this is the main btn. So here I'm targeting the primary btn. Okay, here I'm just going to give a I am having a common class. You see the btn and I have the primary btn and secondary btn is unique classes. So I'm just going to target the btn now. So the btn is going to take a padding of top and bottom is 10 pixel and left and right is 35 pixel. Okay, so now it has padding with kind like this. So here I'm going to add a background color of black. Okay, black. So if you see, this is a background color. Okay, here what I do, I just change this to trans btn. Okay, the transparent btn. This one is the transparent btn. So if I come back here, we have now both button to in a black color. So I don't need this. So what I'm going to do, some people I will tell you what some people will do. So prime btn background color, prime btn background color is where is the figma? So this light yellow color. So if I click this one, it should return me a color. Okay, so I can put the color here. I can also need a font color to white. So now this one got changed to the white color. Okay, this is a black color. So default color is black. So I want to take that thing. Okay, with this trans btn. Okay, the transparent btn, because the color is transparent. So now I can call the transparent here. I can give the background color as a transparent. Okay, so now it should not have a color. Okay, the background color. So the second thing, so I need to give a space in between the image and how to apply. How can I give? So the btn is actually display flex. You see, the btn is actually the display flex. We made a common class to the both. Okay, you understand?
Yes, sir.
Did I going very fast?
No, sir.
No.
Okay, so if you don't understand, please interrupt me. Okay, just ask me the doubts. Okay, so here the btn is actually the display flex, so I can give the gap to that btn. Okay, so the BTN takes the gap of 15 pixel. So now we have a gap here. Okay, so that's it. So now we created this. So this color should be in a black. So I want to give the color to this transparent also. The color is black. Okay, so now we got this proper alignment. Everything is good. So I want to align this in the center of the image. What property should I want to use?
Align item center.
Okay, for the banner wrapper, I want to give align items center. Okay, so it should come in a center. So that's it. Okay, I'm not focusing on the length. Okay, I just change this H1 to font weight to we pick the font, no, so the 500 I give the 500. So now the font is get thinner. Okay, so if you go back to the 100, so okay, so now you see this image is not properly aligned. Okay, we have a 50% here, 50%, here 50%, but the image is not filled with total 50%. So what should I want to give means I want to target the image. The image is sitting inside the banner child 2. Okay, so I'm just going to target the banner child 2 image with this 100%. I'm targeting the image. Okay, this image parent has a 50% of width, so it's going to take a 100%. It's going to consider the 50% as an 100%. Okay, so now it is a proper alignment. Now everything is good. So this is what the web page we created today. Okay,
The gap 15%, why did we use it to come how to apply and then SVG to gap between the
yeah, here this one you're asking here.
yeah
Yeah,
15
okay,
gap.
I will give you the example. So if I hover this one, okay, the BTN has a common classes. Okay, BTN is the common class. You understand? So you see the banner BTN has a 2 children. Okay, one is the A and another one is the another A. Okay, so I changed the banner BTN to display flex and gap is 40 pixels, so that I got the gap in between here. Okay, you see that is actually highlighting, the gap is actually highlighting here. Okay, so there is no children, there is no 2 children inside the A tag. The gap is does not going to work, but this BTN has a 2 children. Okay, you see the one is the image and another one is the span. So I change the BTN to display flex. Okay, this is the common properties. So I want to use the BTN display flex, align item center, and padding is 10 and 10 pixel, 35 pixel, gap is 15 pixel here. Okay, I just gave the gap to that BTN. So now here it has a 2 children, 1 2, so that it create a gap in between the image and span element. You understand?
So we could have targeted BTN trans BTN also, no? For doing the same.
Yeah, we want to give the different colors, no, so to do that this button needs some other color and this transparent button needs some other color. No, some people what they actually do, they actually don't put the BTN directly like this way. Okay, what some people do, they put like this way, and then what they do means they just copy all the BTN properties and put like here. This is actually repeating the code again and again. Okay, so we don't want to do like this kind of styling. So if this is also give the same thing, but you are repeating the same code again and again for the same thing. Why should you want to do that? So that I'm having a common class of BTN, I just want to change the 2 property, only the background color and the color, so that I'm having a BTN as a common class. This should apply all the button. Okay, the both button, just I can able to change the background color only, it is enough. Okay, I don't want to repeat all these 4 again, the 4 properties again. So totally you are using the 8 repeating code, so I don't want to do that. So that's what happened here. You understand now?
Yes, sir.
Why it's not coming? Okay, I would not, I take the class from here, right? Yeah, okay, so now it should come. Okay, so tomorrow the task is, you understand this, right? Today what we did?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay,
Sir,
super.
sir, can I teach how you use Sigma, sir?
What, bro?
Sigma you are using, sir.
Yeah, I will explain you now. The Figma I will explain you now. So tomorrow I will give you the explanation how to you create. So you have one heading here. Use H4 or some other thing with the heading tag. That's not a problem. Here there is a one parent. Okay, one parent has a 3 children. So 100% divided by 3 actually give the 30%, right? 33.3.
33.3, sir. Yes.
Okay, so you don't want to use that 0.3. Okay, just take it off. Just use the 33. Okay, so you can have a proper width of 33, 33, 33. Then you give a gap of 20 pixel like this way. Inside that, what you should want to do, inside that I will explain. Okay, so inside each and every child, you have another flex. Where is that another flex?
To the
You
bottom,
have a flex
below.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is another flex. So you should want to create another flex and the border button to the, this is not a button. Okay, don't want to use the button here. Just it's a tag. Don't use the button. Tag. This is a button. Actually, this is a clickable thing, but it's a tag. Okay, when I hover the button, you should want to change into the yellow color. That's all I teach you. So tomorrow try that out in your by yourself. So when you come tomorrow, please try to complete this, because without without you doing any task, it is very difficult to uh, move on to the next level. Okay, so that's what I'm trying. This is a basic coding. This is the basic coding what we did today. We're using a lot of classes kind of things, but when we get into the second or third project of creating web page, totally different. Okay, it will give you a total difference. So that I'm saying you to do the task.
I have a doubt that if we are having in a container but still want to till end we want the footer to be done, means what we have to do, sir?
What ma your what again? Please, sorry, I will not hear
That
that.
footer is there, no sir?
Yeah,
That
footer. Yeah, okay.
that should not come in a container.
Yeah,
That
you don't want to give a container. You just make it as a text align center. Okay. I just take it out. You just make it as a text align center. Okay. If you use the text, actually this is a block level element. Okay, the footer is block level element. Okay. So if you use to put that text align center, it should actually align in a center of that 100%. Okay.
Sir, how can
Yeah,
we
please
add that
continue.
symbols in?
Which bro? This one.
No, sir. Amazon, Apple.
Apple. Okay. So nothing. Oh, I will give you that. Okay. So I'll take this everything. So if you select this one. Okay. So just 1 minute. So if you click this, you want to, you're asking how to export that or how to do that in HTML.
No, sir. I'm asking for tomorrow's task.
Yeah. Okay. So what you want to do, just create a 3 div. Okay. One parent div. So again, I'm telling you, one parent div has a 3 children. Okay. The box 1, box 2, box 3. Okay. The box 1 has a image and another heading and another span tag and another paragraph tag, another div tag. Inside div, one is a tag, another one is span tag. Okay, because this is only the navigation. Because when I click this full time, it should take me to the another page. So that's what it's an a tag. Here this one is the span tag. The same concept is applying. For the box 2, we have one image, heading, span tag, paragraph tag, one parent div, and here in the parent div we have a tag and span tag. This parent div you should want to change it as a display flex. Okay, and want to give a gap so that it should give the gap here. Okay, the same concept is going to apply. One image, heading, span tag, paragraph tag, one div. Inside the div we have a tag, span tag. This parent tag should become a flex, and you should want to give a gap of 15 pixel or 20 pixel, how much the gap you want to make. Okay, to understand.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it is very I know that is very difficult when it's actually starting, but once you do it by yourself, you will understand how the things is actually working, so that you can able to do your website by your own
we
self.
have
Okay,
class tomorrow, sir.
tomorrow we have a class, so everyone can able to attend, right, tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
So okay,
Yes.
if you don't have any problem, we can have a class at 8 o'clock. No worries. Okay.
Sir, how you use this Sigma website, sir?
Yeah, what I do now, so what you want to do now, just I will send you the file here, the save as local copy. Okay, so this is the file. So I just put this file in our here. Okay, so what you should want to do, you want to click this and download that Figma file. Okay, you just download the Figma file. And what should you want to do, go to the Figma web page. And if you are not a Figma user, please make sure to have create an account using your mail account. Once you create the mail account, what it should do, it should come like this way. Okay, this is not going to appear for you because it is my local file. So it should show you some new design file, new Figma jam file, and import file. This is the button you want to click. Once you click this button, it should open the file path. Okay, so just go to the downloads because you download from the WhatsApp. So this .fig is the Figma file. You see there is an extension called .fig. Just click that and open it. It should take some loading time, and after once it load completed, it should import into your local machine. Okay, so once you click this file, now this Figma file is available in your machine. Okay, so don't worry, these all things are recording in a video. I will ask them
Okay,
to
sir.
share the video. Okay, so that actually what I'm saying, don't watch the video because you're again copying the same thing. Okay, try make sure to understand by yourself and think. Okay, don't follow the videos because video is not good to practice the thing. You know, you now you understand all the things, how the property is actually working. Now the thing is you want to think. That's the thing. There is nothing other than that. You want to think and implement all the properties. That's it. If you follow my video again, you are just copying my style. So that's it. There is no difference. Okay, so don't follow the video. Try without seeing the video. Okay, after if you have more doubt, just go and take a reference from the video, not follow the video. Please don't watch my video. Okay, this is what I'm explaining you. So just I'm giving the my advice. So don't follow the video, just think by yourself, create by yourself. So that's it, the good idea to make grow. Okay, understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
tomorrow when you come, just even if you're not making this, no problem. I want you to try this out. Okay, that's it. I'm not actually saying that you want to complete that. I'm not saying like that way. Just try it yourself, because when you try that thing only, you can have some mistake within your mind. Okay, so that's what I'm saying you, please try it out. Okay, so try, even if it is a mistake, even the output is not output is not come, no problem, just leave with that. Okay, just you want to try that and you want to think how these properties are actually working. So that's what I need. Okay,
Okay,
so
sir.
okay, so shall we close, because 9:15 I have another class of Tamil batch. I will close. Okay.
Okay, sir.